plunging into something so many of us deal with, buying a home.
Right.
And specifically, why it often feels like it just takes forever.
Mm-hmm. Such a common feeling.
We're looking at an article today, Feel Like Buying a Home Takes Too Long. 8 common buyer mistakes that drag out the home buying process. It's by the Lighter Side staff.
A really insightful piece.
And what really jumped out at me is this core idea. Yeah. A lot of that delay, that frustrating wait time, it's actually, well, it's in your hands. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here, and I think often overlooked, is just how much control you, the buyer, actually have.
Right.
So our mission today is really to identify, understand these 8 common mistakes, break them down.
Get into the details.
Exactly. Give you clear, actionable stuff you can use. The idea is to help you streamline your journey, avoid those self-inflicted slowdowns.
That's huge, because nobody wants to add extra weeks or even months to buying a house. Right?
Absolutely not.
So let's jump in. First one on the list. Waiting too long to hire an agent. Now, the article stresses this isn't just about, missing a few online listings. There's a deeper strategic cost. For listeners who think, I'm savvy, I can do my own research first, what's the less obvious snag here?
Well, it's true. You can do research. But the article points out, by the time many buyers finally call an agent, they've already spent, valuable time.
Getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, or making what the article calls rookie mistakes. An agent, if you bring them in early, isn't just feeding you listings. They bring a strategic view.
Okay.
They often know about homes before they hit the market, or maybe subtle things about a neighborhood you wouldn't see online.
Off-market stuff.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh.
Or just deeper insights. So it's not just about speed, it's about access. Access to better information, strategic guidance right from the start helps you focus, avoid those dead ends.
Okay, that makes sense. Strategic guidance. So the agent helps narrow things down, but finding the perfect place means nothing if you can't actually make a move, right?
Which leads right into mistake number 2. House hunting without mortgage pre-approval.
Oh, this is a big one.
The article uses a great analogy. It's like going shopping, filling your cart, then getting to the checkout.
And realizing you left your wallet at home. Yeah.
Totally.
If you find that house, the dream house, but you don't have that pre-approval letter from a lender.
Which basically tells the seller you're good for the money.
Precisely. It says you're a qualified buyer up to a certain amount. Without it, you can't make a serious offer. You're not just losing time while you scramble to get approved.
You'd lose the shot.
You could absolutely lose the house to someone who is prepared. Getting pre-approved before you seriously look speeds everything up later, and it tells sellers you mean business. Your offer just carries more weight.
Okay, this next one, I think a lot of us can relate.
Yeah.
Number 3, looking at homes above your budget.
The slippery slope, as the article calls it.
It really is. You start just browsing, maybe just a little over what you planned.
Just looking, right? Yeah, just looking. And suddenly, those are the ones that stick in your mind. They set the standard.
And then everything within your actual budget feels a bit underwhelming.
Exactly. It's like looking at fancy cars when you can only afford a basic model. It just makes the realistic options seem less exciting.
And the article's right. Unless you stumble on a seller who's absolutely desperate and willing to negotiate way down, which is rare.
You're mostly just wasting your time and mental energy.
Absolutely. That time adds up. Chasing houses you realistically can't afford just keeps you from focusing on what is possible. Sticking to your pre-approved range from the start, that keeps the search efficient. Much faster process overall. Avoids that disappointment cycle.
Okay, number 4. This one's about hesitation. Needing to see just a few more houses.
The what-if syndrome.
Totally. You find a place you really like, it checks a lot of boxes, but then that little voice. What if there's something even better just around the corner?
It's understandable to want to see options.
But the article warns, the best homes, they don't hang around waiting for you to make up your mind.
They really don't.
Yeah.
Especially in competitive markets. There's definitely a psychological element, maybe that fear of missing out, FOMO.
Yeah.
It can lead to paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
And it's true, the next house listed isn't always dramatically better. This indecision, it's costly. The article says you often end up losing a house you actually love.
And you only realize how good it was after it's gone.
Exactly. So the advice is, if you find a home you genuinely like, one that fits your needs, make the offer. Don't wait for perfection that might never come. Trust your gut sometimes.
Act decisively. Okay. This next one, number 5, this can be a sensitive one, especially for first-time buyers. Waiting too long to loop in your parents.
Ah, yes. Family dynamics.
Parental approval, especially if they're contributing financially, can be super important. But the timing, the article stresses, is everything. Delaying that conversation. How does that mess things up?
Oh, it can completely derail things. Send it right back to square one. Think about it. If you've already fallen head over heels for a place, then you bring your parents in, and they have concerns, maybe valid concerns. It can suddenly stop everything.
And cause a lot of stress.
Huge stress. The key insight from the article is that they need perspective. They need to see the range of what's out there, the good, the bad, the okay, alongside you, to understand why you like a particular house compared to the alternatives.
So they get the context.
Exactly. Bring them in earlier. Let them ask questions, voice concerns during the search, not as a last-minute veto. It integrates their input smoothly, avoids that 11th hour disruption, gets everyone on the same page.
Okay, good advice. Moving on to number 6, making unrealistic low-ball offers.
The bargain hunter's dilemma.
Right. Everyone wants a deal, but consistently offering, say, way below what similar homes are selling for, especially if the market's hot.
You're just spinning your wheels. Sellers will likely just ignore it or reject it outright and move on to a serious offer.
So you waste your time, the agent's time?
Everyone's time. Making offers that are, as the article puts it, out of sync with the market forces you to keep starting the offer process over and over.
And this is where a good agent really helps again, presumably.
Absolutely crucial. They know the market. They have the data on recent sales, the comps. They can help you write an offer that's competitive, realistic, and has a genuine shot at getting accepted.
Without necessarily overpaying.
Exactly. It's about being smart and strategic, not just throwing out low numbers hoping one sticks. That just drags things out.
Okay, almost there. Number 7, dragging your feet on paperwork.
Ugh, the paperwork phase.
Once your offer is accepted, you're under contract. And that period between acceptance and closing, wow, the clock starts ticking loud.
It really does. Mortgage documents, inspections, appraisals, contingency deadlines.
Yeah.
It's a whirlwind.
And procrastination here. Big mistake.
Huge. The article warns buyers who delay signing things, getting documents to the lender, responding to requests, they can cause serious delays.
And that can cost you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could lose negotiation leverage. If the seller sees you dragging your feet, maybe they're less willing to agree to repairs found during inspection.
Or worse.
Or worse, you could miss a critical deadline and actually lose the deal entirely, potentially even your earnest money deposit.
Ouch.
Yeah. So staying totally on top of every deadline, responding promptly, it might feel tedious, like homework, but it's critical to keep things moving smoothly.
Got it. Stay organized, stay responsive. Okay, finally, mistake number 8. Backing out over small inspection issues.
The quest for perfection.
Right. The article really emphasizes no house is perfect. Not brand new, not 50 years old. They specifically mention things like a leaky faucet, peeling paint, or an older water heater.
Minor stuff, really. Things that are just part of owning a home.
Exactly. They're saying these aren't deal breakers.
And this raises a really important point. Learning to tell the difference between a minor fix and a major, potentially expensive structural problem. That's key.
So for the small stuff.
The advice is, don't walk away. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Instead, try to negotiate.
Ask the seller for a credit.
Yeah, maybe a credit at closing to cover the repair cost. Or just budget for it yourself. Plan to fix that leaky faucet after you move in.
Because restarting the whole search?
Over something minor adds weeks, maybe months to your timeline. As the article points out, that's a way more costly financially and emotionally than just dealing with some peeling paint. It's about perspective.
Wow. Okay, so putting it all together, what does this all mean for someone trying to buy a home?
Well, it means that while yes, home buying can feel long and complicated,
It often does.
understanding and actively avoiding these common mistakes gives you, the buyer, a surprising amount of power to speed things up, to make it smoother.
So being informed really is being empowered here. A well-informed buyer is a confident buyer and probably a faster buyer too.
Exactly. You move through the process with more certainty, less wasted effort.
This whole discussion prompts a bigger thought, actually. How often in other big life decisions, career moves, investments, whatever, do we accidentally slow ourselves down?
Good question.
You know, by not preparing properly or getting stuck in indecision like that. Just one more house thing.
That's a fascinating point. The value of being proactive, making informed choices instead of just reacting, that really does extend way beyond buying a house, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's about taking control where you can.
It really is powerful. Knowing where you might trip up gives you the chance to sidestep it. Hopefully, taking these insights helps make your home buying journey much quicker and definitely less stressful.
Definitely.
For all your buyer needs, connect with Mandeep Toor OMAXE Real Estate Inc.